Thank you for bringing this question up. Frankly, I've received this question from different people so many times, and I discovered that this is one of the major challenge that people face in the society today, because people want much more than their money can afford. And what makes it a problem is not only that it doesn't have a solution, or that the solution is not easy, but it's the way they are going around seeking for solution to this. So let me start the right way. First of all, the first question you should ask is, what makes an event big? How do you measure the size of an event? Is it the capacity of the venue, the people that turned out, or is it from the performers, or depending on the type of event it is, how do you measure the size of an event? That is what will determine what makes the event big. There are several ways to measure the size of an event, but I'm not going there right now. So now I need to say this to be candid. Before you venture into planning any event at all, whether you're an event planner or professional, or you're a vendor, or whatever it is, whether you're even green in the whole thing, the first thing you should do is to know, or rather the first thing to know is the basic steps of an event, or have a basic knowledge of what an event is, the ABC of what an event is. So what are the three major elements of an event? Listen, I am not talking about the three major elements of event management. That is a profession. I mean an event. They are different. Surprisingly, they each have three major elements respectively. I mean, event has three elements. Event management has three elements. So we are talking about an event here. And an event is something that happens at a given place and time with someone or something involved. That is an event. The primary definition of event, not event management. Good. So the three major elements are this. Number one is something that happens at a given place. The first one is the venue. Where is it happening? The second is someone involved. Who is going to make it happen? The team. Who is making it happen? Who is going to plan this thing, make this thing happen? The third is the witnesses, or the guests, or the audience. Who are those coming to witness what will happen? So you have venue, team or personal, then audience or guest. Those are the three major elements. So when you have these three, you understand these three, then you know where your money is going to, or how much you can spend. So the first thing now is write your ideas and concept down. You should have done that before now, of course. And then what are the 6 W's? The what, when, why, where, for who, by whom, all of that. Write all of that down. You know how much you've got. Good. So let me use the Nigerian naira right now. So you have ₦1,000,000, and your event, or event you have in mind to plan, is over 5 million. 5 million naira. Okay, good. So what do? First of all, take 20% out of that 1 million. Keep 200,000 aside. So what you actually have is 800. You don't have 1,000,000. You have 800,000 naira. So from that 800,000 naira, you start your process. Good. Start with the first element, the venue. Write down about 3 to 4, 5, 6, up to 10 venues you know, or you may have researched, that appeals to your idea and your target audience, or your target special guest, because you have all of those things of what could make an event big. So write that down. So you are going to use one particular very powerful tool, and that is partnership. Okay, you know you don't have enough money to make this happen, so you have to leverage on all the benefit that partnership will give to you. Start your venue survey. Survey all the venues. Don't survey 2 or 3, do more than that. Then when you pick the 2 or the best 3 out of the venues on your list, start your negotiation, your discussion with the people in charge, the venue managers. Talk with them. Let them understand. Please don't tell anybody you've got 800,000. No, don't do that. Keep that aside. Start negotiating with them. Let them know how important this is going to be, or how beneficial it would be for them as the PR and the type, your target audience, the people you want to bring. They may ask you, do you have the contact to bring these people down? Say yes, of course you do. You were going to make that happen. You just started from somewhere. So that is exactly what you're doing. When you were done negotiating and you seal the deal, I bet you, when you're done, before you are done with 5 out of these venues you've surveyed, 1 will work. Sign a deal with them. Of course, you're going to need to pay some little money just to secure the place and put something down for them to know you're serious. Good. And you have your date and venue locked down. Beautiful. Then get a graphic designer. Put out a teaser out there. Something that is going to show that my event is coming up, this is whatever. But don't put the face of whosoever you want to use for your event when you've not negotiated with them, for that is fraud. You don't do that. That's you deceiving the public, and it's fraud. Okay? Good. It's a crime, honestly. So don't do that. So when you're done with event, so the next step is you move to the second element of the event, which is the team. The planners, who, of course, you know what you have is not, you don't have the capacity, the financial capacity to make this happen. There are professionals out there. There are experienced event professionals out there you can work with. Write the names down just like you did with the venue. Start talking with them. Of course, you've put your date way far from the time you started all of this. Meet with them, talk business over with them, share percentage. Let this be a mutual partnership between both of you. Let them know what you've got. Let them know the idea you have in mind, what you're bringing to the table, what they're bringing to the table, how you're both going to leverage on each other's strengths and weaknesses to make this happen. And you start work with them. You will discover at the end of the whole thing that even the 800,000 you set aside, you didn't spend up to 50 or 40% of it, or maybe maximum you spend out of the 800,000 is 60% of it. You still have almost 40 or over 40 added to the 200,000 you had earlier. Now, even the money you thought you didn't have, that was lesser or low, you still have saved. Part of it saved. You're keeping that aside for incentives and any other thing. Some people call it miscellaneous or whatever, but just keep that to a corner and your event is working on just fine. But let me end with this. Do yourself a favor and gain some knowledge, just a little knowledge. That won't hurt. That will even make you stand out. It will make you stand out in the public. Don't jump into any business or into the planning an event because you think it's just to put an event together. I've had a lot of students tell me that. They say, I thought it's this, I thought it's that. No, it's not that. It's way bigger